Hello, everyone, and welcome to the AFL Armchair Advisors podcast. Obviously, I'm by myself tonight, and as you can tell, I'm a bit under the weather. So the boys left me back here alone in Adelaide, South Australia, to get the pod done by myself. Now, whether that's a good decision or not remains to be seen. But what I can promise you is that I will be delivering all the best AFL content that you would find on a normal podcast, just without the two dunderheads holding me back. Just joking, fellas. Hope you're having a great time in Singapore, staying out of trouble, which I know is absolutely impossible for the pair of you. And hope you sit back and enjoy me delivering the content that the people want to hear. Now let's crack on with it. Obviously, round 14, last of the bye rounds. Thank God for that. We're moving on back into regularly scheduled programming as of next week. But for this week, we've got another 6 games. So let's get stuck right into it. We've got Thursday night footy, tomorrow night, 24 hours from now, Richmond Tigers versus the Carlton Blues at the MCG. Setting up to be a cracker. The Tigers, weren't pretty last week against the Power, but they got the job done. That's what matters in the AFL, is getting the 4 points on the board. Pretty ordinary in terms of their disposal efficiency, but they banged it inside 50 a lot, and they got rewarded for it. And that's all you can ask for in today's AFL. Graham, absolute tackling machine, had 10 last week, which is just massive. Monster numbers. Liam Baker, no longer underrated. He absolutely killed it again last week. 26 disposals and a goal. Jaden Shaw, interestingly, 31% of his game time was spent forward last week. So I would be removing him from any multis, including disposals, for the time being, just until we get a little bit more clarity surrounding that role. As for the Blues, similar to the Tigers, they weren't great against Essendon, but they got the job done. Dons did make it a contest. They made it real hard for Carlton to put anything of note together, which was fantastic for them. Cripps was back out of the ruck into the midfield at his best. Other mids, strangely, not as prolific. They actually took a week off, which for their midfield is unusual. Adam Chera obviously went down a little bit early with the hammy, but I'm expecting a bounce back overall from this midfield unit. Sam Doherty, if there was a comeback player of the year award in the AFL, he would have it wrapped up. Absolutely massive again last week, 33 disposals at 87% efficiency. Not bad at all. I'm going to be tipping the Blues here. Even though they're missing a key back, Sam Durden is going to be making his debut, so hopefully we see a little bit from him. I'm going to tip them anyway. I just back them in a little bit more than where the Tigers are at the moment. But the Tigers are playing fantastic footy, so this is a genuine line ball call. As far as my bets go, I've got Sam Doherty, as I said, in fantastic form for 25 plus disposals. That's going for $1.35 right now. Great value. Shai Bolton, 5 behinds last week. Absolutely disgraceful from him. Expecting a bounce back. 2+ goals, paying $1.75. And then we've got Paddy Cripps for a goal. He's already at his best goal return for his entire career. I'm expecting him to jag another one in this contest. That's $1.44. That wraps up the first game of the round. We then move all the way from Victoria to Victoria, from the MCG down to Docklands. We're at Marvel Stadium on Friday night for St Kilda versus the Essendon Bombers. Saints last week, spirited performance. They were cruelled by injuries, unfortunately. Owens, McKenzie and Jones all had left the game early, and they just ran out of legs. You could see by the end of that game against Brisbane, they were gassing hard. In saying that, did like what I saw mostly from them. I'm really concerned about King's accuracy in front of the big sticks. 2 goals, 3. He's going at 34 goals, 25 behinds for the year. Not fantastic for a key forward. If he improves in that area, the Saints are going to be very hard to stop. It will be interesting to see whether Jack Steele gets rushed back into cover for the injured Zach Jones. I don't think he will get a gig this week, probably more leaning towards the following week. But I've seen stranger things happen in the AFL than players getting rushed back a week early, so we'll see what happens there. Essendon, like I said earlier, gave it a real crack against the Blues, and for where they're at the moment, that's all we can really ask. They held strong against the Blues midfield. It was a pretty spirited performance considering Darcy Parish was real trouble with that calf. He is a test for this week. So whether he even gets up or not, who knows? Dylan Shields stood up, best game for the year by him by far. Ben Hobbs, really impressed with him so far this year. Gave it a crack last week. Kicked a goal, had 17 touches. Their biggest problem in front of the sticks, 7 goals, 12 behinds, not good enough. But look, you take improvement where you get it, and the fact that they're showing fight week in, week out at the moment, that's as much as I can ask for them. I'm going to be tipping the Saints. I'm sort of tossing and turning between 1 to 39 and 40 plus. I'm probably going to go 1 to 39 just because I think the way the Bombers have been playing recently, I think they're likely to give it a good crack. They're not going to steal this one, but again, stranger things. So Saints 1 to 39 for me. I've got Jade Gresham for a goal. Kicked a couple last week. Looks back in big form. So I'm going to be taking him for a goal. $1.50 there. Zach Merritt for 30 plus disposals. He hasn't had it for a couple of weeks now, but I anticipate that with Darcy Parish potentially missing, that Zerrett will get his disposals. I've also got Josh Battle, 15 plus disposals. He's been an absolute brick wall all year and also enjoys getting his touches. 15 plus touches at $1.35. Good value for mine. Moving over to the Saturday games, we've got the Power versus the Swans at Adelaide Oval on Saturday afternoon. Now, you could argue that the umpires gave the game to Brisbane in the end, to Richmond in the end. Sorry, boys, the pseudos are taking effect on the brain right now. But at the end of the day, they just weren't good enough to get the job done. They weren't super impressive even prior to the ending of that game. Just looking through their midfield statistics, Rosie, 24 touches at 66%. Wines, 26 at 76. Boak, 25 at 76. Drew, 22 at 68. And Butters, 20 at 75. The game plan just reverted to bomb it long to Charlie and hope he does the work. No good. Robbie Gray, 6 touches for the game. Disgusting from a champion like him. Stevie Motlop, 3 touches. How do you get 3 touches in 4 quarters of football? We need a hell of a lot more from these kinds of players if we're going to buy into Port as a premiership aspirant. Right now, not buying it whatsoever. Swans coming off a nice relaxing week off, came into the bye with a nice win over the Tigers. Over the Dees. They did have a win over the Tigers the week before, but beating the Dees while they were down, great for the confidence. Look, it sounds simple, but Port's game plan wilt under pressure. They've shown it the last couple of weeks. Pressure forces them to bomb long into Charlie, and we all know how that ends. Not well. So I'm going to be taking the Swans for a nice, easy 1 to 39 victory in this one. Best bets, I'll be looking at Callum Mills for his customary every week 25 plus disposals. I'll be taking Connor Rosie for 20 plus disposals. And I am going to back in Robbie Gray for a goal this week. I do think that he will come good. He's just too good of a player not to. So I don't see how he doesn't get his get his goal this week. Bit of a bounce back, and we'll see how that one goes. Onto the later Saturday afternoon game, I should say. Eagles v the Cats at Optus Stadium. Look, the less said about this one, the better. We always rag on the Eagles. They are no good. The only worth noting, obviously, is the Cats' post-bye record. So it is 3-12 since 2012, including finals. That's disgusting. That is absolutely disgusting. But it will be 4-12 after this week. Eagles, all we can ask from you, bring some pressure, and we'll give you a big fat A and a big fat tick for the week. Best bet, Cats 40 plus, $1.46. Money for Jam for mine. We got Myers, Grind Myers for a goal. Didn't kick one last week. Think he'll get back in the scorers column this week, $1.44. And Teabag Tommy Stewart, 25 plus disposals at $1.50. He got concussed in the last game. I think that was more precautionary than everything, and he will absolutely gobble up disposals against the Eagles. This couldn't be a better game for him. I'd almost look at 30 plus if I really wanted to have a bit of a punt. But 25 plus, nice easy little fluffer for any multis you've got going this week. All right, moving on to a fantastic game. Saturday night at Giants Stadium. We've got the Giants, newly resurgent Giants, versus the downtrodden Dogs. The Giants absolutely smashed the Roos. They absolutely killed them, as we all expected that they would. Big Himmelberg, pig mode activated from fullback, 37 touches and a goal. Fantastic from him. Cogs absolutely back. 34 disposals, 3 goals, just massive. And same as Lockie Whitfield, 29 touches, including 14. That's right, 14 marks. Massive from him. Tanner Broom, best game of his career to date, 24 touches and 2 goals. Played a lot of midfield time after Harry Perryman. Harry Perryman. I'm completely lost here, fellas. Harry Perryman did leave that game early. I'm telling you, these pseudos, fellas, they are absolutely addling the brain. Perryman went out early with the rib. Broom moved into the midfield. And he looked great. So good for him. I just really appreciate the footy they're playing under Mark McVeigh. You all know, anyone who's watched this program knows that I have been an avid disliker of Leon Cameron for a long time. Always felt he was holding the Giants back. It has been proven to be true. Mark McVeigh is a coaching god. Just a god. Absolute god. Playing players in their best positions. I mean, revolutionary. Who would have even thought of that apart from Mark McVeigh? No one. Unbelievable. Dogs, least restful bye period in history. As I said before, Baglenka, spotlight big time. They're going to be thinking about that all week. Obviously, they want to protect him. Look, Baz is a great player, great human being. I think that the work he's done in the mental health space has been fantastic. But you can't be doing stuff like this, and it's going to come back to haunt the team. They're coming back off a loss anyway. Geelong kicked 7 goals on them in the first quarter before the bye. I just don't like the way they're going about it. Midfield super interested in getting a lot of the footy, not interested in any defensive work, and that's not going to lead to many wins. It's just how it is. What they need to do: Dunkley into the middle, hard edge. He's the leading tackler on the team, which might surprise people considering he plays his entire game at half forward. But got to get him back into the midfield. Baz out, Dunks in, easy as. Loss here. Makes the season very, very tenuous for them. The Suns, who we'll talk about in 3 seconds, look, they're looking pretty good. And if the Dogs don't win here, the Suns will be level with them on points. And I know who I'd be backing in the back end of this season. I'm going to take the Giants here, 1-39. Would have been crazy to say this 5-6 weeks ago. As I said, I'm in love with their game style under Mark McVeigh, so I'm going to be taking them 1-39 here. Best bets, Jake Riccardi. He loves a snag, and I love getting around him for goals. So $1.40, easy money. Done it in his last 4. I've got Adam Treloar for a goal, $1.64. I think this is a game where he'll just get off the leash a little bit. In terms of goal kicking, he always loves to jag one when he can. Perfect game for him to do it against one of the old teams. And Harry Himmelberg, like I said, pig mode last week, but in the last two games under McVeigh, he's had 20 plus disposals. So I'm going to back him in to do that again. $1.32. Again, nice little fluffer for the multis. And on to the final game of the round. We've got the Gold Coast Suns, the top 8 Gold Coast Suns, fingers crossed, versus the Adelaide Crows. It's over in Metricon. Look, both teams are coming off a bye in this one. I think it's no surprise to anyone that we're the armchair advisors, all 3 of us, are hoping that the Gold Coast Suns make the 8 this year. And they've been playing some great footy. Super pleased for Stewie Jew. Always rated him as a coach, and I think that he's getting the best out of these players and can't ask for much more than that. They had humongous wins against Hawthorn and North prior to the bye. They're the second best contested team in the league, third best clearance team, third best intercept team. It's amazing what Stewie Jew's been able to do. Their big problem remains in attack. They're 11th for inside 50 marks and 11th most points. Obviously, you got to take the buys into account there, but they do struggle going forwards a little bit. I don't think they'll struggle particularly in this game because the Crows' defense has been known to be leaky. But getting back, Ben King next year, that's massive. That is massive, and I think that if they don't do it this year, top 8 locks next year for certain. In terms of the Crows, coming off the least inspiring win of the season, according to some media, who cares? You take any wins in a rebuild, literally anything that comes your way. 4 points from any team, anytime, you just take it. So enough about the least inspiring crap. It's just absolute garbage. Don't want to hear it. Rory Laird, All-Australian form, been disrespected yet again by the Herald Sun. Wasn't in the All-Australian team. Should absolutely be. Jordan Dawson, very close as well. We got Jacko Haitley, friend of the show. Keep strong, brother. He's playing great at the moment. Jake Saligo, Sam Berry looking really, really good. And even Darcy Fogarty last couple of games has looked fantastic. So again, still in the rebuilding process, so we just take whatever we can get whenever we can get it. I'm quite happy with the way the Crows have been playing as a fan. I think Gold Coast are going to get the chocolate here though, and that's $1.39. Sorry, $1.39. Mate, these pseudos are kicking my absolute little butt. Suns 1-39 here, fellas. I do have though, in terms of my best bets, Crows 37.5 alternate handicap. I think $1.60, that's pretty good value. I can't see them getting absolutely slaughtered, but stranger things. I imagine now that I've said that, it'll probably be a 75-point Gold Coast victory. I've got Malcolm Roses for a goal. He's been absolutely electric since starting up with the Gold Coast really early on this year. He played a couple of games last year, didn't look up to it. This year, he's been fantastic. So good on him. Brandon Ellis, or Brandon Alice for you playing in Victoria, 20 plus disposals, $1.30. Rory Laird and Chungus Miller, both for 30 plus disposals. I could see this being a pretty disposal heavy game. A lot of contested footy. These are two of the best contested teams in the league in terms of their midfields. So I think Laird and Chunk will both get their 30 plus. And that covers it. That's me done. 15 minutes, bing, bang, boom. It's been so nice to do this without any moronic comments from Desmond Van Bus. I do miss Rich Heyman, though. If anybody has heard from him in the last 24 hours, I'd really appreciate it. Since they posted their video yesterday, haven't heard a peep from them, getting a little bit worried. So if anybody does, can you let me know, or failing that, please give the lovely ladies of the Orchard Towers a call in Singapore. They will be able to really assist you in this. The boys have spent a lot of time with them over the last week, and I think they might be located there, but we'll see how we go. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. I will be back with the boys live in studio next Wednesday, Tuesday, whatever day we decide to get together. But I'm really looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing the lads again, provided they do come back, of course. Other than that, you know the rules. Subscribe, like the video, share it to your friends, share it to social media, do whatever you need to do. We provide what I would consider good content. Some may disagree, many may disagree, but I think we provide exceptional content for nothing. We've never charged a dime. We never will. This is all free, all for the punters. We love what we do. All we ask is some likes and some subscribes, and that is it. Have a great week. Have a great weekend. Good luck on the punt. If you have any questions, give us a DM. All three of us are quite happy to just sit and chat and chinwag with all of you degenerates whenever you feel like it. So if you've ever got anything you want to ask us, DM away and we'll get straight back to you. Have a good weekend, lads. Peace out.